Captain America Comics. 45 thrilling pages of Captain America, plus other features. The Red Skull planned a horrible death for Bucky and Betty, unless... Captain America Contents. Case number 1. Captain America and the Return of the Red Skull. The Red Skull returns from the dead to wreak a horrible vengeance on an unsuspecting people. But into the underground depths of his lair comes Captain America and Bucky, bringing with them a justice as violent as the Red Skull's revenge. Case number 2. Captain America in the Hunchback of Hollywood and the Movie Murders. Death and terror lurk behind the scenes of a Hollywood movie set as Captain America and Bucky hunt a hunchback madman whose bloody hand seeks to stop the grinding cameras from filming the truth for a liberty-loving public. Case number 3. Captain America in The Mummy and the Butterfly Killer. Laughing at Law and Order, the Butterfly loots the museum of its priceless treasures, until Captain America steps in to clip the wings of this notorious supercriminal. Tuk, Cave Boy, in Atlantis and the False King, in which a beautiful princess regains her rightful throne, with the help of 2 prehistoric adventurers. Amazing Spy Adventures. The true story of the Bald Head Message. Hurricane, Master of Speed, in Satan and the Subway Disasters. Only the blinding speed of the world's fastest human saves a bewildered city from the Devil's Death Box. Captain America, by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. The Return of the Red Skull. After breathless moments, a prone figure slowly moves from the floor. A figure left for dead by the world. Left me for dead, did they? Didn't the fools realize I could survive my own medicine? Ho ho! This time, the Red Skull will show no mercy. Revenge! Revenge on the United States! Revenge on Captain America! This time, I'll startle their feeble brains with my greatest discovery, the touch of death. Private Rogers and Bucky are among the many soldiers who cluster around Hartley Hall, where a military conference is taking place. I hear they've made plans for the amazing new power drill. Only words, my friend. We won't know until after the meeting just what is going on. You're not hanging around here for curiosity's sake, Cap. What's on your mind? Nothing much, Bucky. I was just thinking that this military conference may attract foreign spies, and whatnot. Meanwhile, at the meeting inside. Gentlemen, we discussed the power drill plans thoroughly. I move we adjourn the meeting. You've entrusted these plans to my care. I'll defend them with my life. See you at the training grounds, Major Douglas. Right. Tell the wife hello for me, sir. Arriving home, the Major is about to deposit the plans in his safe before retiring. When? Ho hum. Guess I'll turn in. I'll take those plans, Major. You? The Red Skull? I thought you... No, Major. I'm not dead. But as for you... You'll never get these plans. I'll kill you first. You fiend. Ha ha! Hit me. Go ahead. Hit me. Ah! The touch of death, my dear Major. Those who touch the Red Skull, die. Power drill, eh? Just the thing for my new conquest of the United States. Wait till Adolf hears of this. Someone's coming. But I tell you, I heard a shot. Okay, we'll see what's going on. Major Douglas. He's dead. Some foreign agents finished him. Cap, look what I found. Bucky opens the box, and the symbol of the Red Skull rolls out. The sign of the Red Skull. But I thought he was dead. So the Red Skull returns, and Captain America again takes up his challenge. And don't forget me, Cap. I'm in on this. Sometime later, in a gloomy alleyway. Here comes their Captain America. Yeah, their Red Skull will love this. Let's get them. Crack open their heads. I'm not playing piggyback today. Get off me, you big lug. Then comes the storm. Who do you think you're jumping on, ratsies? Now talk fast. Who's the brains behind this ambush? It was the Red Skull, and he's got their secret plans also. Don't hit me anymore. So the Red Skull is responsible for this. Yeah. Now please let me go. Toss him in the gutter, Cap. Going skull hunting, Cap? Yeah. Wait till I get my hands on that bird. Extra. Red Skull returns. Red Skull steals secret plans. Army man murdered by Red Skull. Monster hidden somewhere in city. Meanwhile, in a small hidden room somewhere in an old abandoned subway tunnel. News post. Authorities hunt Red Skull. Ho ho! I've already got the city in turmoil. But they haven't seen anything yet. I'll rip this nation wide open. I'll even make Hitler shake with fear. Ha 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 ha! There it is. My masterpiece. It's nearly finished and all set to roll. Outside, in the street. I wonder if the Red Skull will try any more killings. Listen, Bill. As long as Captain America is around, that skull guy won't show his ugly pan. Suddenly. Bill, what's that coming out of the subway? Smashing its way through the concrete and earth comes the Red Skull's power drill. In a short while, the incredible American invention in the Red Skull's hands wreaks havoc in the city, crushing great buildings, killing thousands of people. The destructive power drill tears its way across the city, sparing nothing in its path. Calling all cars! Calling all cars! The power drill has been turned on our city. It's now headed toward Brooklyn. Stop it at all costs. Crushing all resistance, the weird machine churns its way toward Ebbets Field. Look! Hey, what in the... Behind the controls of the destructive juggernaut sits the Red Skull. We've got them trapped. Crush every human being in this stadium. Suddenly, the frantic crowd shouts with joy as their faces turn to the other end of the field. Look! Here comes Captain America! Hooray! Hooray! Sure enough, the two familiar figures leap heroically into the scene of devastation and panic. Up here, Bucky! Quick! Right with you, Cap. Let's go. Hang on, Bucky. Lie flat and hang on. Creeping toward an observation window, Captain America peers inside. Attention! Gun turret 5! Captain America and Bucky are on board. Open fire on them immediately. Don't cease firing until they're dead. This'll shake them off. Meanwhile, heavily armed police riot squads arrive to stem the mechanical monster's advance. Hey, there's a couple of guys on that contraption. Don't bother with them. Blast away at that corkscrew with wheels. Captain America and Bucky find themselves in a storm of whistling and whining bullets. Jump, Bucky! We haven't a chance up here. Keep firing, boys. Captain America! They've banded against us. Retreat! Thank heavens, we scared them off. I wonder. Let's get back to camp, Bucky. I'm afraid the Nazi storm is just beginning. Check. Meanwhile, unknown to Cap and Bucky, hard-faced thugs gather in a conference. A box is opened, and flashing costumes are revealed. Okay, Duffer, you and Midge try on these costumes. You lugs look perfect. If there's no slip-ups, this Captain America gag is gonna net us plenty of dough. I'm raring to go, boss. When do we start raking in the greenbacks? I feel like that brat Bucky already. Come one, come all. Captain America and Bucky to appear in person at Coney Island. Don't miss the chance to see your favorite heroes. Wow, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Gee, at last I could shake hands with them. Step right up, folks, and feel the mighty muscles of Captain America. One small dime, 10 cents. I'll take 2. Here's my dime. 2 khaki-clad figures make their way through the milling crowd. I'll take 2 tickets. Okay, soldier, step right up. Feel the muscle of a one-man army. Meanwhile, on the platform. Big, ain't it? That's a real arm for you. Hiya, boys. I'm glad to see yous. Gee, shake hands, Bucky. Suddenly. What do you mean by wearing the U.S. colors for such a purpose, you cheap faker? Listen, buddy, crawl down before I wallop you. How do you like the feel of my muscle? Bucky has his turn, too. You heard me. Get those clothes off. Beat it, you young weasel, before I chew you up. Oh, a trigger man, eh? Oh! And so ends a phony Bucky. Look it, Larry. The soldier and the kid flattened Captain America and Bucky. I get it, Sandy. Those 2 are fakes. Hey, what's the big idea? Quiet, you worm. Good work, soldier. We want our money back. Fakers. It was all a joke, folks. Just having a little fun. Yeah, at our expense. Don't hand us that stuff. Chase the bums out of town. Later, back in the dressing room of the phony Captain America and Bucky. Well, how was we to know that Cap America was the real McCoy? Well, we know now. Not knowing that the publicized crooks are fakes, the Red Skull makes his call. Nice evening, isn't it, Captain America? Take it easy, boys. We got another sucker. There's dough in this gag for us yet. Check. Just 10 cents, mister, and you and the boys can feel... Silence, pig. Oh, a wise guy, eh? All right, Mr. Falseface. I'm gonna punch you right where your nose ought to be. Ah! Imbecile. Now taste the touch of death. All he did was touch him. Oh. Get them, boys. They're America's best fighting men. The Red Skull's henchmen quickly overpower the phony Captain America and Bucky. Honest, mister, we ain't them guys. We can explain. We was only foolin'. Away with your tricks. The Red Skull is not to be fooled. To the gallows with them. But I tell you, we ain't. Ha ha ha. The Skull has revenge. The real Captain America and Bucky are at this same moment on the Skull's trail. We've got to keep looking for that power drill, Bucky. America depends on us. The tank was seen coming out of a Long Island subway. Why not try there? Why not? Let's go, kid. Meanwhile, before striking more death on victims who are about to swing from a sturdy gallows post. Say your prayers, you two, and say 'em fast. You can't do this to us. We ain't done nothing. It's all a mistake. Honest it is. The trap is sprung, and the 2 unfortunate gangsters end their careers dangling in death at the end of the Red Skull's rope. Die! Die! Ha ha ha! That finishes them. Now I can unleash all my horror on America. Suddenly, the Red Skull turns. What was that? Hiya, boys. Ghosts! They're ghosts! Himmel! They've come back from the dead! Here comes the thundering herd, Bucky. Get set. Okay. Tricked! Tricked again! Get him, you idiots! That's the real Captain America! Strike 1 for the home team. Here come the rest of the rats. Signals on, Cap. Then a tornado hits the Nazi nest. Yahoo! Wanting to trap Bucky by his touch of death, the Red Skull stands his ground. Hit me, brat. Go ahead and hit me, if you dare. Thanks for the invitation, Skull. I've been itching for this moment for ages. What? The touch of death has failed me. Sure, you sap. I know your tricks by now. Cap and I happen to know that you've got electric wiring in your clothing. That's what causes your touch of death, and that's why Cap and I had our gloves insulated. Your gloves won't stop this. Bucky! Bucky! What's happened? Are you alright, Bucky? Just a little dizzy, but otherwise okay. Where's the skull? Come on, kid. He must have gone this way. Just wait till I get hold of that guy again. Ha! They won't get me. The Red Skull will never be taken. I've got a world to conquer, and no man shall stop me. Here you are, my friends. Want to play catch, eh? Drop it, Cap! Drop it! I'll say I'll drop it. Slowly and painfully, mighty Captain America and Bucky rise from the smoldering ruins. Nice fight, eh, Cap? Where's the Red Skull? Probably dead. Let's get out of here. Power drill destroyed in huge explosion. Red Skull dies in blast. Captain America and Bucky believed responsible for destruction of Master Spy and his death-dealing machine. Entire city shaken by monster explosion. Back in Camp Lehigh, Private Steve Rogers and Mascot Bucky are in time for troop inspection. Been fighting again, eh, Rogers? Better not let me catch you, or it's the guardhouse for you. Attention! Captain America, the Hunchback of Hollywood, and the movie Murder. Despite the increasing pressure from fuming Nazi consuls and other fascist agencies, Mark Karstein decides to film an anti-Nazi picture. But Mark, think of the reaction abroad, the threats, and... That won't frighten me, Parks. I'm the movie producer here, and I aim to go ahead with this picture. It's timely. It's truth. The action takes place in the Middle Ages, but the theme is the same as the situation today. Free men against a tyrant. Democracy against dictatorship. This picture will awaken the public to the real value of their right to think for themselves. The dog. I'll fix him. Organizing his cast into a traveling unit, Karstein moves them to an old castle near Fort Lehigh, on location. Somewhere in the old castle, that night, a weird, distorted figure writes a note. In a dungeon, hastily transformed into a producer's office. Hello? Police headquarters? This is Mark Karstein, producer of Superstar Pictures. I just received a letter threatening me with death if I don't cease production on the tyrant. You were instructed not to call the police, Karstein. Ah! The Hunchback, a deformed monster out of the Middle Ages, descends from the dungeon of death. I wonder who will be next to die. Ha 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 ha! News of the murder hits Fort Lehigh like a bombshell. Fort Lehigh News. Movie producer slain on location near Fort Lehigh. Production on The Tyrant will continue, says movie firm. I thought it was getting too quiet around here. Looks like this is a job for Captain America. Speaking about jobs, they were going to give the soldiers jobs as extras. Guess it's all over now. Don't worry, Gable. You'll get a chance to crash Hollywood. The news says they're determined to continue production. Most likely I'll carry a spear. With the permission of Army officials, many of Fort Lehigh soldiers are recruited as extras in the picture and production nearby. Step on it, boys. We're going to start casting. I guess they don't let a little thing like murder bother them. Look, there's McAllister, the director, and Marie Detirle, the star. Isn't she terrific? The soldiers doff their khaki uniforms for the colorful attire of another age. But he's just a common soldier. No talent. You're no Barry Moore, Talbot. I think I can use him in the tournament sequence. Who is that handsome young man, Hannah? One of them soldiers they hired as extras. Meanwhile, Sergeant Duffy has landed a comedy role and already has his men howling with laughter. Come back, you wise guys. I'll teach you to make fun of me. Ha 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 ha. I was robbed, Cap. Look at the sissy outfit they handed me. Let's get moving, big boy. You're going to see a man about breaking a lance. Okay. Keep your eyes open, Bucky. I have a feeling something's going to happen that isn't in the script. Okay, I want some action in this scene. Give all you got. Spur those horses and keep your lances down. Camera. Sound. Dressed in the regal splendor of a medieval king and queen, Craig Talbot and Carol Young watch the jousting scene. Carol stares intently at Steve Rogers on the white charger. That soldier Rogers seems to interest you, Carol. He does look impressive on that white horse. The tournament begins. Suddenly, Rogers' opponent reels in his saddle as his fingers clutch at an arrow protruding from his chest. Ugh! Things are beginning to pop. Some killer's going to pay for this, but fast. In the ensuing turmoil and excitement, Captain America and Bucky discard their cumbersome costumes and swing into action. Come on, Bucky. I think I see our man. I'll soon fix you two snoops. All right, William Tell. Now it's my turn. Captain America suddenly becomes a streaking blur and hits the archer with the force of a 5-ton meteor. Now start talking, rat. Why did you commit that murder? Who hired you? Crouched like an animal on a nearby roof is the mysterious hunchback killer of Ebony Castle. Dead men don't talk, Captain America. Look out, Cap! Aye! Why, that's Goris Barloff, the horror actor. He plays the hunchback in this picture. He'll play another part when I'm through with him, the star role in The Last Mile. But as Captain America rounds a corner of the winding staircase... What? That's a lovely fall. You boys would do swell in slapstick. Springing up, Captain America stops the killer's headlong descent. And you could double for a sound effect, a bag of wind on a stormy night. There is a sudden ominous rumble as the flimsy castle set begins to totter. Cap, look out! The staircase is caving and so's the building! Thumbs up, Cap. Or aren't we in London? Glad to see you in one piece, kid. It looks like the hunchback's disappeared. Craig Talbot appears on the scene. If you're looking for that hunchback, I saw him run into Goris Barloff's dressing room. The movie colony buzzes with excitement as a concerted rush is made for the character actor's room. Kill my actors, ruin my picture. Wait till I get my hands on Barloff. Where's Cap? He was just here this second. Meanwhile, Captain America has departed unnoticed to retrieve his suit of armor. I better switch back to this tailored tin can before somebody notices Steve Rogers' strange resemblance to Captain America. At Goris Barloff's dressing room, a large menacing crowd has gathered as studio detective Brogan knocks forcefully on the actor's door. Careful, Brogan. Barloff is no daisy. Open up, Barloff, in the name of the law. The door opens, and the angry Barloff emerges. What's the meaning of all this, Brogan? What's this mob of gaping fools doing in front of my dressing room? Well, what do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Can the temperament, Barloff. You pulled those murders. We want you. There must be some mistake. Come into my room, Brogan, where we can talk this over. There's no mistake about it. We've got proof. Here's the wig and makeup the killer wore. That's quite possible. I keep a second makeup costume on hand. Last night I found it missing. A likely story. Know all the answers, don't you? Well, I'm gonna slap you in the jug. At that moment, Director McAllister burst through the door. Brogan, Barloff, what's the meaning of all this? I'm arresting your ace horror man for murder. If you jail him, you'll ruin the best picture I ever made. He's the greatest character actor since Lon Chaney. Something tells me Cap ought to be here. Sorry you won't listen to reason, Brogan. Beat it, Barloff. Wait a minute, Frankenstein. No, you don't. Steve Rogers finally clanks into view. I'll bet I sound like a junk shop on wheels. Hello? Do I hear Bucky's voice coming from that trailer? McAllister's freed Barloff, Cap. Brogan is out cold in the trailer. Come on, Bucky. We've no time to waste. Meanwhile, the hunchback killer surprises Carol Young in her dressing room. Barloff, what are you doing here? I'm going to kill you, Carol. Crush your beautiful body to a shapeless pulp. If I can't have you, no other man shall. Don't come near, or I'll scream. Your screams will be useless. By the time help arrives, you will be dead. Outside, on the movie lot, Steve Rogers and Bucky continue their search for Barloff. Help! Help! What the? Come on, Bucky. That sounded like it came from Carol Young's dressing room. Gangway! Frustrated in his attempt to kill the actress by the timely appearance of Captain America and Bucky, the desperate killer dashes for freedom. Darn this cumbersome armor! Once I'm in the castle, they'll never get me. The hunchback moves more cautiously, as he finds an old watchman guarding the castle entrance while scenes are being shot elsewhere. Ha 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 ha! Disposing of the watchman, the hunchback enters the castle, bolts the huge door, and shouts his defiance from the stone battlements above. Steve Rogers and Bucky, having paused to revive Carol Young, once again resume their pursuit of the hunchback. There he is, Bucky. He's locked himself in that castle. But how will we get to him, Cap? I'll tell you how we'll get to him. We're going to storm that castle, just as they did in the days of the Crusades. This battlefield set is loaded with weapons, replicas of battering rams, catapults, scaling ladders. I'll play courier and round up the soldiers. To arms! To arms! Boy, if only I had a trumpet. Scores of extras converge on the scene in a setting out of another century. Captain America leads a siege to root the murderer of Ebony Castle. Oh, Mr. McAllister, it's horrible. They'll never get him. Hey, McAllister, you're under arrest for helping Barloff escape. Where did Barloff go? Hey, what goes on here? A war? That soldier, Rogers, and the men are trying to dislodge the killer from the castle. The big soldier knows his stuff, but Barloff is sly. They'll have to dynamite him out. Meanwhile, out of sight, a mysterious figure hooks a siege ladder to a side wall and stealthily ascends. The fools! They ought to know this place is as strong as the Siegfried Line, but let 'em sweat. It's very amusing. One of the extras spots the hunchback, and someone else. Look! Someone's going after the hunchback! Kill that broadcast, or you'll sign that man's death warrant. But the hunchback hears the cry from below, and whirls to meet the man stealing up behind him. A rear guard action, eh? I'll fix you. That disposes of you. Meanwhile, Steve Rogers, followed by Bucky, makes a quick change in a hidden corner of the castle wall. We're getting nowhere with this siege. That killer can pick us off like flies from the siege ladders. I'm going to try something else. Without me? What a pal. Line up the catapult, boys, and aim it at that turret. I'm going for a ride. Okay, bud, but I think you're nuts. Say, that's Captain America. Aim straight, fellers. You only get one try, and so do I. I hope I don't get caught on a spire. Ow! A perfect 3-point landing. There goes the killer through that trap door. I won't let him get away this time. Captain America descends to a large banquet hall, where he finds... Hey there, looking for the hunchback? So am I. Talbot, how did you get here? I walked in, through the hall door downstairs. Is that so? Suddenly, Captain America whirls and reaches swiftly into a hidden corner behind a pillar. The hunchback's wig and costume. You're lying, Talbot. You're the killer. You'll have to prove it. I'll take this sword from the wall and finish him while he's still unconscious. Captain America regains his senses in time to see death rapidly descending. Now die! Why, you dirty... Talbot's sword strikes hard metal, where a moment ago Captain America had lifted his head. Oof! I'll cut you to ribbons for that kick. Wait till I get a sword, then we'll both play. Alright, Talbot, on guard. Then begins Captain America's most dangerous encounter. What's the reason for your murder spree, Talbot? Since I'm going to kill you, I'll tell you. Go ahead, I'm a good listener. Oops, sorry. Swine! Please continue. Karstein was a fool. His pictures were propaganda against the Nazi cause. Being a Bund member and a follower of the Fuhrer, I felt it my duty to kill Karstein. What about that other killing in the tournament scene? That arrow was meant for Steve Rogers. Carol Young was paying too much attention to that tin-horn soldier. The guy I hired bungled the job and killed the wrong man. That's all I wanted to hear. What the? I didn't know you could fence that well. Touché. You could really fence all this time. You tricked me into confessing. Yes, Mr. Smart Guy, the jig is up. Meanwhile, the castle door has been battered down, and Bucky, followed by Hawkshaw Brogan, bursts into the banquet hall. Here they are, Brogan. Hey, Cap, are you okay? Come in, boys. The shooting's over. Talbot's your hunchback killer, Brogan. He's a fanatical Nazi and a jealous fool. Now we'll pay for being both. You'll find Barloff unconscious on the castle tower. He was the one who scaled the castle wall to try to capture Talbot. Going back to camp, Cap? Yep. The Sarge is probably pining away for us. Sign that confession, Talbot. You got a big scene to play in court. Back in camp, Private Rogers and Bucky buy a newspaper to read of Captain America's latest exploit. Captain America nabs movie murderer. This bird sure gets a load of publicity. Yeah, he's just an overrated bum. So, Captain America's an overrated bum, is he? If you mugs had half his brains, you'd be getting somewhere in this man's army. Yes, Sarge. Too true, Sarge. The Queer Case of the Murdering Butterfly and the Ancient Mummies, starring Captain America. Steve Rogers and his little pal Bucky study in their tent at Camp Lehigh. These coming exams give me a headache. I wish we were out hunting crooks. Yes, but passing your exams will help you get to West Point someday. On the other hand, I've a hunch we may see some action soon. The Butterfly, notorious killer, boasts of coming attempt to steal fabulous Egyptian treasure in museum. Meanwhile, at the State Museum, Dr. Vitroli, head curator, receives a guarded shipment of valuable ancient Egyptian relics. Here's your shipment, sir. Safe and sound. Good. Have your men take it inside. And be extremely careful. Nothing must be broken. These ancient relics are priceless. That same night, after a careful inspection of the exhibits, Dr. Vitroli closes the museum. As the great museum clock ticks away the passing hours, tragedy and death are about to strike simultaneously, with the first stroke of midnight. The clock strikes 12, as the State Museum watchman pads softly through the eerie silence of the darkened Egyptian room. Suddenly, the old night watchman looks up in horror. Lord, save me! I must be seeing things! Demons! Devils! A loud, agonizing scream rings through the empty museum and ends in a low death rattle which fades abruptly into the thick silence of the museum. The weird creature follows up its cold-blooded deed by rifling the various exhibits of their valuable contents. The great treasures of King Tut, all mine. The next morning. You closed the museum last night after everyone had gone, didn't you, Dr. Vitroli? Yes, Sergeant. I'm sorry I can't be of any service in helping you solve this hideous crime. Funny that this butterfly lug should overlook Cleopatra's diamond, the biggest in the collection. Not so loud, Sarge. He may hear you and come back for it tonight. Haha, That's a good one. Suddenly, a huge, lumbering form fills the office doorway. Who's he? This is Lenny, my helper. He's very useful, and he's got the strength of 10 men. Locking his massive arms about a huge stone idol, Lenny lifts it as though it were a toy, and calmly carries his burden from the room. Did you see that? That guy's a human derrick. That very night. Nothing ever happens to me. I always get these quiet jobs. The butterfly! Ah! The fools believed that lightning wouldn't strike twice in the same place. Here it is, the diamond they said I could not get. The butterfly's second crime goes unsolved, as the baffled police search in vain for a clue that will lead them to the master criminal and his valuable loot. Although the killer has not been caught, Commissioner Collins' best men are continuing the investigation until they track him down and bring him to justice. Meanwhile, Bucky visits the museum, accompanied by his teacher and classmates. I wish I was back in camp with Cap. Who wants to see these old museums anyway? I'd rather be out hunting crooks and... Say, what's this? Boy, what a spooky place this is. I wonder who lives down here. Well, I'll be the butterfly. It isn't alive. It's only a Halloween costume. Suddenly, what you snoop around here for? I lost a collar button, pal. I gotta get out of here and tell Cap of my discovery. Get out of my way, you big lummox. Ha ha. Now I fix you, mosquito. Let me down, you dumb blockhead. Shut up, you brat. Now you'll keep your nose out of other people's business. A few blocks away, Private Steve Rogers, on leave from camp. Bucky hasn't shown up from his museum trip. I'd better look into this. This is the butterfly speaking. I find that we need funds to transport our treasure to South America. In a few minutes, you must hold up the city bank near the museum. Later, as Private Rogers strolls by the city bank, he collides with one of the thugs who have just robbed the bank. Trying to pull a holdup, eh? Ouch! Bank robbing is against the law, or didn't you know? The other gangsters making their getaway run into the same hurricane of flying fists. Bingo! I hit the jackpot. This is what I call a good afternoon's work. Steve Rogers makes a hurried exit as the police arrive. Hey you! Come back here! Sorry boys, can't waste time answering any questions. I'd better find Bucky. Later, in Dr. Vitroli's office in the museum. I'd like a pass to search the museum for a friend of mine. I'm terribly sorry, but it's closing time. We don't permit anyone into the museum at night. But No buts. You heard what boss said. Scram! I'll hide behind old Harry till the place is empty. A few minutes elapse, and out of Rogers' hiding place emerges Captain America. Something funny's going on in this museum, and I'm going to find out what it is. Hey, what are you doing here? Who wants to know? I think I messed up your nice color suit. Oops. Looks like somebody has to teach you manners. That dumb ox must be made of rock. He's getting up after that sleeper punch. But Lenny has something else up his sleeve. Captain America observes the sinister movement. Unseen by Lenny, he breaks off a tusk from a nearby dinosaur skeleton. Now you die! Ha ha ha! I don't think so, you sap. Stupid imbecile! I warn you not to throw that knife. You asked for it, brother. I kill! Kill! Yeah! That was close. It came from above. The butterfly. So we meet at last. The butterfly's gun barks viciously as his bullets rebound from Captain America's shield with a ringing spang. The butterfly strikes the floor, landing heavily on his head. Dr. Vitroli, as I suspected. You've won, my fast-moving friend. I fear this is the end of the butterfly. I could have been rich beyond my wildest dreams. What have you done to Bucky? Trapdoor, to cellar, boy, locked in mummy case. Uh-oh, I hear the cops coming. Stop! You! Sorry, boy, I can't wait. A few minutes later. Bucky! Bucky! Are you alright in there? I'll have you out in a jiffy. There's a couple of air holes in this wooden kimono cap, but it's getting awfully stuffy in here. You cause me more trouble. Gee, I'm glad you're here, Cap. Changing back to his everyday clothes, Captain America and Bucky make their way to the street through a back entrance. It's a great day for justice, eh, soldier? The police just killed the butterfly. You don't tell me. Butterfly killed in police raid. Say, that's great. I'm glad they got him. That case was giving me the jitters. I'm a very nervous person. What are you laughing at? Captain America is a very nervous person. You little rascal. Tuk, Cave Boy. Tuk, the Cave Boy, fighting through the prehistoric jungle toward Atlantis, island of the gods, with the powerful Cro-Magnon man, Tanir, who turns from his path to help Princess Eve regain her throne. Yonder is Atlantis, my city, ruled by a usurper. We must see that justice is done, Tanir. We can go no farther. I am known. If the false king sees you with me, it means death for us all. Then he must not see you. Disguise yourself. Meanwhile, in the castle at Atlantis, the false king consults his court magician. Well, soothsayer, what says the crystal today? The crystal never lies, Majesty. I see... What is this I see? The Princess Eve! The Princess Eve! What? Princess Eve? Here? If the people see her, I'll be overthrown. Where is she? She comes disguised, with two strangers. They are approaching the north gate. Oh, guard! The north gate! Close it instantly. Do you hear? Yes, your majesty. So the Princess Eve will not find it so easy to enter Atlantis and rouse the people against me. I will keep watch over her with the aid of that excellent crystal. Keep courage, princess. We are almost there. Look! Tanir! Princess! Look! The gate is closing. Closed against us. Could the usurper have known? Of course. It must have been the soothsayer. But wait. I know a way. What is it? Quick, tell us. There is a secret tunnel leading into the city from the hills. That was how I escaped. Come, I will show you. Lead on. Come, Tanir. They have turned away from the north gate. Ha! Where are they now? Where are they? They are in the hills outside the city. I see a cliff. Wait, there is an opening in the cliff. A cave. They are going into a cave. And a tunnel. The Princess Eve and the strangers are in a tunnel. Walking. A tunnel, eh? And where does it lead to, soothsayer? I cannot tell, Majesty. The crystal cannot tell. A tunnel. Where it leads, I cannot tell. You cannot tell? You must tell. Speak. It is not possible. Your Majesty, the crystal. You and your crystal. Ah, I will search every nook and cranny of those hills. A section of the castle wall swings slowly outward. What's that? The Princess Eve returns to claim her throne. Kneel, traitor. This dagger is my answer to the Princess Eve. Why, what? Come on, Tanir, get him! That will cost you your life, my boy. Help me, guard. Your guard will not save you, traitor. Help! Ah! The false king's guard, attracted by his cries, rushed to his aid. He's killing the king! Moving like a flash, Tanir disarms the first of the soldiers. Great Jupiter! Tuk, quick! My bow and arrows! There are others coming! Help! Oof! The king! Look there! An armed giant! Stop! Stay where you are! The first who moves gets an arrow in his throat. Bring the princess, Tuk. You no longer have need of disguise, princess. You are right, Tuk. We're among friends now. Soldiers, do you not know your true queen? It is she. It is the Princess Eve. Your people have suffered much since you left us, princess. Welcome back to Atlantis. Take the usurper prisoner. He shall reign over the dungeon for his treachery. Yes, your majesty. Come, you traitor. As for you, my friends, I can never repay you for what you have done, but the wealth of Atlantis is yours. We cannot stay, princess. Our way is to Adelan, the island of the gods. Goodbye, my friends, and good fortune. Goodbye, princess. That was a beautiful city, Tuk. Adelan will be still more beautiful, Tanir. Come, our way lies through the forest. What new adventures await the Cave Boy and the Cro-Magnon Man on their journey to the Island of the Gods? Read how Tuk, the Avenger, and his companion Tanir combat the perils of trackless prehistoric jungle in next month's Captain America comics. Amazing Spy Adventures: The True Story of the Bald Head Message, and How It Was Delivered. In the days before the Greek rebellion against the Persian tyrant, King Darius, Aeschylus, the Milesian, was a visitor at the court of Darius. I give you greetings, your highness. Actually, Aeschylus was on espionage duty for his government, which Darius himself suspected. Welcome to my court, Aeschylus. Being such an honored guest, I will see that you spend your visit here in complete safety. Thank you, sire. I'll order some of my soldiers to keep a close watch on your tent. For your protection, of course. Darius kept his word only too well. During Aeschylus' stay in Persia, his tent was constantly guarded by a small army of soldiers who watched his every move. I was instructed by my superiors that all important messages be sent in writing. These soldiers outside are sure to search my messengers. Aeschylus then put a very ingenious plan into action. One of his youthful servants had his head shaved, to supposedly avoid the heat. The Persian sun is too hot for you puny Greeks, stripling. Aye, even my shaved head affords me no relief. The young servant soon fell ill and was taken into the privacy of Aeschylus' tent to recover. Take the poor lad inside. 2 months later, the boy emerged partially recovered, and his once bushy hair had grown back. Aeschylus insisted that he be sent home to convalesce. As you see, the boy needs rest. He must be sent home. Of course you understand he will have to be thoroughly searched, Aeschylus. If we find a hidden message on the boy, it will be a bloody end for both him and his master. The youth was stripped and searched, but the amazed and baffled Persians failed to find any secret message on his person. By the gods, I can find nothing either. We will have to let him go. But the Persians had been cleverly fooled, for upon his arrival home, the supposedly sick servant appeared before his council of chiefs. The lad's head was again shaved, and on it was written the secret message that the Persians couldn't find. Incite the Ionians to revolt. Hurricane, master of speed. Hurricane, the last descendant of the ancient Greek immortals, returns to Earth to fight his ancestral enemy, Pluto, the devil, who is plotting to ruin civilization and control the destiny of the world. In mortal guise, Hurricane visits Groton City, the scene of a series of mysterious subway wrecks. The 5th subway disaster in a week. Cousin Pluto is trying to terrorize Groton City and destroy its inhabitants. I must fight that fiendish devil. At the scene of the latest wreck. It is strange that all the passengers were killed. Pluto must have used some secret devilish device. That's queer. Here's another one of those metal boxes like we found at the other subway wrecks. I was right. This is an infernal death box. Those passengers didn't have a chance. That guy knows more than is good for him. I'd better get out of here. That fellow acted suspicious. Think I'll follow him. Okay, Jerry, get going. I gotta report to the boss. In a burst of dazzling light, the strange youth is changed into the mighty Hurricane, master of the storm. With the speed of light, Hurricane races in pursuit of the thug's car. Now to find out if my hunch was right. Scarface Rispoli, with another infernal death box, Pluto's right-hand man. The big boss sure got a clever brain, invented this death box. It sure makes everything easy. First, we hide the box in a subway train. Then we turn a rail switch. When the two trains crash, everybody in both trains are killed by this little box. With this death box, we can keep the whole city terrorized. Then we take control of everybody for the chief. Say, that guy must have lost his clothes, and he's peeking in the boss's window. Raise your hands, curly locks. You mean like this? Oh! You might as well join your friends. Come and get it, you cutthroats. What in the... Hey, I can't see him. He's as fast as lightning. Here's a present for you, you devil's stooge. Ah! This is the way to get two birds with one stone. Alright, out with it. Who is your big boss, and where's his hideout? I'll talk. The chief is Mr. Esteville, and he lives in the penthouse on top of the Rexel Hotel. After I put you fellows in a safe place, I'll go after Pluto. Equipping the thugs with tiny wings, Hurricane carries them into the center of the city. Look! Men with wings! And they're flying! I must be seeing things. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Holt talks over the strange series of wrecks with Detective Bronson. It's got me stumped. 5 wrecks in a week, and every passenger killed. If we only could figure out what this metal box has to do with it. One has been found at every wreck. If I had those killers here now, I'd... Hey, where's the wind coming from? Here are your killers, Commissioner, and this infernal death box is the evidence. You won't have any trouble making Rispoli confess. Huh. Hey, wait, I want to question you. The wings on the thug's ankles vanish as Hurricane dashes away. Sorry, I got a date with the devil. But... that guy sure did us a big favor. But who is he? And why did he run away so fast? I have a feeling Scarface Rispoli isn't the man we really want, and that queer guy has gone for the big shot. Hurricane is after the big shot, as he speeds to the penthouse of Pluto, alias Esteville. As Hurricane enters the room, he is aware of the fiendish eyes of Pluto watching him. It's Hurricane. I'll fix that meddling young fool. These sleep vapors will put him out of the way while I finish my work for tonight. The strange vapors of sleep overcome the young Hurricane. The vapors of sleep. Pluto is near. The new Fifth Avenue subway will be opened by the high officials of the city at midnight. They shall all die. Then my men will be in charge. At midnight, the mayor of the city leads the ceremony which opens the new subway. I now declare the new Fifth Avenue subway to be opened officially. The new subway train rumbles through the tunnel, carrying the high officials. I turn this switch. The new subway will crash into the empty train on the side track. All the high officials will be killed. Then I'll have the city in my power. Ha ha! At that same moment, Hurricane recovers from the effects of the vapors of sleep. The new subway line opens tonight. High officials. Pluto will be there. I must hurry. Like a swift beam of light, Hurricane speeds through the night. That figure at the switch. He's turning it to put us on the sidetrack. We'll crash. We'll all be killed. From out of nowhere comes the mighty Hurricane, just in time to avert the impending disaster. Made it, and not a second to spare. Whew, that was close. A thunderous roar shatters the night air as Hurricane pursues the devilish Pluto and strikes with maddening fury. The deafening roars of the two enemies resound into the heavens. The beaten Pluto disappears into the night as the victorious Hurricane watches the evil devil in flight. And so, Groton City is safe from the wicked Pluto, but there is still so much evil in the world. I must remain on Earth. There is much to be done. Another thrilling adventure of Hurricane in the next issue of Captain America Comics. Don't miss it.